Back now into Fox 61 by Carrier Kitchen. Always happy to have some of the greatest. You know, Connecticut has some great breweries. And now they're really getting, not just they're staying in the beer game, but they're getting into the food game as well. We have Chris Sassi. Nice to see you here. Nice to be here. Nice to see you. From Concentric Brewing over in Portland, which I've enjoyed your beer. I have not enjoyed your food, but he says that's going to change in about 3-4 minutes time,
yes,
right?
Definitely.
Nice to see you. Is it hard when you come, you've been chefing for about 20 years.
Yes.
Is it hard when you come into a brewery and say, okay, you got to start pairing, you got to start using the beers? Does that pose a challenge to you?
It doesn't, and not so much. I mean, their beers are pretty good. A lot of the flavor profiles, you'll see one that's used today, Beach Traffic, has a lot of the accents and flavor profiles that go with a lot of the dishes. Their core is their flagship beer, which I use a lot for the brining of our chickens and stuff like that. So it's good.
Does that not sound good?
Yeah.
We're going to do Carne Asada Tacos, which is good. Symphony said, hey, it's not Tuesday. We can't do Taco Tuesday. You're going to get this stuff. You're going to go home, get the recipe, and then you're going to make it for tomorrow night. Let's go to work. We're going to do two kinds today, right? Let's start with the traditional way.
Yes, this is a London broil cut. You can use a skirt steak, flank steak, whatever. This is from Penfield Farms in Portland.
You use a lot of local stuff, don't you?
Yes,
we'll talk more about that coming up. But you've already cooked it. You've got a nice pink middle to that because you're going to kind of do a secondary, heating up here, right?
Well, see, I use a London broil, so it has a tendency to have a lot of like muscle and tendons.
Which is why you got to slice it.
So you slice it on the grain.
There you go.
I do a technique called reverse sear, so I'll cook it on a low temp at like about 200 degrees, and it breaks down a lot of that.
Really?
And this is after I've marinated it.
Right. That's interesting. Reverse sear.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
It's a technique that's actually getting quite big lately.
Love it. You've got. You're only going to cook this up for another minute or two because you're going to mix in a couple of other things. What do you got?
We do a vegetarian option with the same setup. I use oyster mushrooms, which are from Seacoast, and
Seacoast has the best
Mystic
mushrooms around.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You could use baby bellas, portobellas. I love oysters.
I do too. I do too.
I like the way they look too.
Put it on a medium heat. It looks like a little oil going in there. You're just about done with that, right?
Yes.
All right. What else are you doing? Because we're not done.
So I'll marinate both of these in a jalapeno. Again, I use some of the beer that they use. So these are both marinated in a beer.
How long?
6 hours at least. I'll do it overnight.
Very good.
The meat I cryovac when I do it, so it takes on more of the flavor itself.
Sure. Absolutely.
I'll use jalapenos, garlic scapes, which are from Fire Ridge Farm, which is also in Portland.
You're starting to see a trend here with all the food, right?
We try to use as much as we can from farms.
Yeah. Supporting locally sourced. That's the best reason. But also, you know where the food's coming from, so you know it's good.
Yes,
absolutely.
Exactly. I've been dealing with Penfield Farms for years, so I know exactly what they feed it.
It's a fine-looking piece of steak. You also do, just as we're waiting for this to heat up, I'm going to actually show this off. This is a fine-looking watermelon salad you got there, Chef.
Well, you'll see we do a lot of cross-utilization. So we do a watermelon feta salad at the restaurant. And as you'll see, I do a watermelon relish that will go on top of this. Right. Which I pickle my own watermelon rind.
And I love that idea. So we'll get to that in a second. All right, let's start making the tacos here because we're down to 90 seconds. So, and you can leave the steak on all you want because at the end you're just whether you want it medium rare, or cook it up.
This is a smoked corn crema. So I smoke my own corn.
Oh, well, who doesn't? I'm just kidding.
So I'll do that. We'll do one with the meat.
This is fantastic. Tell me, you got any farm-to-table dinners coming up? You got a burger thing you do, right?
We do have a burger thing. We do a burger and beer night every Thursday. Right. Everything's farm. Everything's locally sourced.
Talk about this watermelon relish that you're going to, with the rinds, you're going to pickle the rinds. So if you get your watermelon still, don't throw the rinds out, put them in a little what?
I make my own pickling sauce. So this is a little bit of turmeric, cloves, apple cider vinegar.
Let it sit for how long?
And this one went for about a week.
Dice it up and then look at this.
And so then this is...
That's the finished product. There you go. Look at this. What else is in here?
That's the garlic scapes, a little bit of Scotch bonnets. Everything's from the farm.
Right. Fantastic.
You can use whatever peppers you want.
I was going to say, Scotch bonnet, you're going to add some heat to that,
right?
Yeah,
we'll add a little bit of heat.
Okay. You can catch the chef. This is fantastic. This ain't no burger and beer. You do burgers there well.
We do.
Look at this. That is fantastic. You can catch all this at Concentric Brewing in Portland. How many beers on tap? 14, they say. Go and count them yourself if you don't believe me. What's the best beer that you use to cook with?
I use the Core, which is their flagship, and a lot of my brines and stuff like that.
Right.
This one is the Beach Traffic.
Right.
I do it a reduction.
Really?
So it becomes a syrup, and I infuse it with a little bit of jalapeno. But the notes from this with the lemon and the lime all go with what I'm doing.
I'm blown away by this guy. I'm headed to Portland like as soon as I can. Fantastic stuff. The recipe, as always, on our website, fox61.com. And listen, I'm not going to give up the ghost here. The producer's in my ear, not only giving me time cues, but telling me you better hold on to one of those tacos for me. So I'm just going to put my hands on both of them right now. No, I can't do that. I like my producer, and he lets me do segments like this. Chef Sassi.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Good stuff here. Recipes online. Of course, we'll have more, and this is a great thing for Taco Tuesday tomorrow night. Tim Lammers, this taco's for you.
Thank you.